Hey everybody, welcome to Beyond Guitar's live stream, and today we're going to do sus chords and ear training. And here we go. So one of the most popular ways to vary a chord is called a sus chord, and that means suspended chord. Okay, you don't have to learn music theory right now to learn what they sound like and to learn to identify them by ear. Okay, but we will just talk briefly about, let's just face it, everybody out there knows a D chord, right? So let's hear your D chord. There's your standard D. Okay, at the top of the chord, we have an F sharp. That's the note that musicians call the major third, and that makes this particular chord sound happy and sparkly and shiny. That's the smile note, right? That's your major third. Okay, now if we change that note and we put the pinky finger on there, and now we have a G, that changes the whole chord, okay? That's called a sus chord. More specifically, that's called a sus4 chord. And the reason it's called a sus4 is because that G is 4 notes higher than our root note, which is D. Okay, how did I learn all this stuff? I mean, how can you figure out all this stuff? I tell you what, when I was in music theory class, I just counted on my fingers. D, E, F, G, 4. It's that easy, okay? So if D is 1, D is where we're starting. We're on a D chord, therefore D is note 1. Then just say the alphabet. E is 2, F is 3, G is 4. Fourth note, sus4. You added note 4 into this chord. Note 4 has a special sound because it sounds unresolved. Musicians might say, it wants to resolve back to the D. Okay, and so that's why it's such a cliche thing that you hear so many guitar players go. So that's our sus4 chord, D sus4. Okay, there are other kinds of suspended chords too. I mean, that's the most popular one. Most of the time when people say, I'm playing a suspended chord, that's what they mean, sus4. Okay, but like I said, there are other categories of sus chords. There's a sus2 chord. Let's cover that one. All right, so here's my basic D. Now, if I lift up my middle finger, I've changed the high note now to open E. Now there's an open E at the top of this chord. Again, it sounds a little unfinished, like maybe there should be another chord that comes after it. Sometimes musicians will say, that chord wants to resolve back to D. And I guess I see what they're saying, because once you add that open E string, it's a little unsatisfying to end the song there. Everybody wants to hear that you come back to D. Sometimes you hear it like a hammer, or they strum it. Okay, that's called a sus2 chord. Sus2. Why is it 2? Well, we added in the note E, and we're talking about a D chord. Okay, so if D is the root and D is 1, E is 2. It's note number 2 in the alphabet. Okay, so let's review. We have our D. We have our D sus4. Here's D again. We have D sus2. And we're back to D. Okay, so you should learn to play all those chords on your guitar. So, you know, play your basic D. Add your pinky finger. Take your pinky finger away, you got D again. Okay, and then lift your middle finger, and then come back to D. Okay, you can make all sort of cool riffs with that. Okay, now I'm going to give you a little quiz on those chords, and then we're going to explore a whole bunch of other sus chords. Here we go. All right, what chord is this? That was sus 2. What chord is this? That's a sus 4. What chord is this? Basic D. D major chord. What chord is this? D sus 4. What chord is this? Basic D. What chord is this? D sus 2. What chord is this? D sus 4. What chord is this? D sus 2. What chord is this? Basic D. Okay, let's cover all the different kind of sus chords that you could play. Let's move on and go to A now. Okay, play a basic A chord. This is your standard A. Okay, now to make A sus 4, what you do is you take your ring finger, right now it's on 2nd fret on string 2. And what you do is you slide it up. You play 3rd fret on string 2. Alternatively, you could have used your pinky finger. That's another way to do it. If you're more used to playing like bar chord A, like single finger just straight across, squished flat, you can still play the A sus 4 by adding middle finger, 3rd fret, string 2. That's an A sus 4. It goes well with A. It goes right to A. All right, now let's do A sus 2. Okay, you can't really do it with the bar chord. Okay, you got to play the cowboy A like this. All right, so what you do is you start with your basic A. Then you just lift your ring finger off the string, and it leaves you with only these 2 fingers, okay? And the note that's new, that sounds different, is open string on string 2, the B string. That gives you an A sus 2. Okay, remember that thing I did where I counted on my fingers? So let's review that stuff. All right, so if I play A sus 4, just have to figure this out. So we're on A, and what is this note that we're adding in right there? That particular note is a D. A, B, C, D. D is 4 letters up from A. Therefore, we've added the 4th note of the scale. We've added the 4th letter of the alphabet. A sus 4. Okay, what about this other chord where you lift your finger up? We're adding an open string B. We're adding a B into the chord, and it's an A chord. So A, B. It's the 2nd note. So A sus 2. you could put all those together and make a cool song. Okay, time for your quiz. Okay, identify these chords by ear. Ready, go. That was A sus2. What is this chord? That is A sus4. What is this chord? Basic old A major, standard A. What is this chord? A sus4. What is this chord? That's A sus2. What is this chord? That is A sus4. What is this chord? Basic A major, A cowboy chord. What is this chord? That's A sus2. Keep going. What's this chord? Standard A major chord. What is this chord? That's A sus4. Let's keep going. Next one. All right, let's do G. Okay, everybody knows your G chord. G cowboy chord, there it is. Okay, the sus chords are a little bit harder to hit with your fingers, but let's go for it. Okay, to hit G suspended, what you need to do is reconfigure your G, because you can't reach it with this fingering. You have to play your standard G with different fingers, okay? You got to put second finger, second fret, string 5. Third finger, third fret, string 6. Pinky finger, third fret, string 1. Okay, we didn't use the pointer finger at all to play any notes in the G chord. Okay, there's your standard cowboy G. Okay, to make G sus4, what you do is you add in finger 1, first fret, string 2. There's a basic G, G suspended, basic G. You can get a cool riff going, see? Okay, what's a G sus2? All right, well, I'm going to finger it this way. Okay, what I did was I switched it up a little bit, because now what I'm doing is I'm playing third fret on the low string with my middle finger. And then I'm going to do this. I'm going to cover third fret on the second string, third fret on the first string, and cram those two fingers really close together. And now I can add my sus2. It's here. Second fret, string 3. Okay, Okay, so you may be asking, well, why did you do a different G this time, Andy? Why didn't you do this other G? Okay, well, if I add the sus2 in there, I suppose I could still do it that way, but technically, I still have my major third in there, the B. And you're not supposed to have the major third and the 2. Because that's what suspended is. You remove the major third and replace it. And in this case, I've got both notes. So there's a bit of a clash there. So that's why I'm not doing this chord. I'm doing it this way. This is a 2. And this is a basic G. Okay, time for a quiz. Here we go. What is this chord? The answer is basic G. What is this chord? Sus2 is the answer. What is this chord? Sus4. What is this chord? Basic G, standard G major chord. What is this chord? That's G sus4. What is this chord? G sus2. All right, let's do another one. Let's do E. Let's move on. Now we're going to do an E major chord. Here's your standard cowboy E major chord. Okay, now to make E suspended, you can do it a couple different ways. A lot of players will just add the pinky finger in and press down the 2nd fret on string 3. And that's E suspended. Just add the pinky, then take it away. Okay, now can you play an E sus2? You can, but it's a lot harder. So you usually don't hear a lot of E sus2s out there. There's a couple other ways to try to get the E sus2 going, or play it up high or something. But as far as the cowboy chord realm and the first 2 frets of the guitar, it's kind of hard to play. Okay, but I'll do my best. So the sus2 is like, it's got the pinky finger on the 4th fret, string 4. Okay, and I'm eliminating finger 1 here, so I could just rearrange the fingers. And that's an E sus2. All right, here we go. Let's test your ear. All right, what chord is this? That's E sus4. What is this chord? Standard E. What is this chord? The answer is sus2. What is this chord? Sus4. What is this chord? The sus2. What is this chord? That was a standard E major. Okay, let's do one more, then we'll wrap things up. Let's do C. Okay, C is an easy one with the fingers, okay? So here we go. Here's your standard old basic everyday C major cowboy chord. Okay, you can always use the lettering system to figure out. Okay, so I'm on a C chord. C is 1. All right. I need to add note 4. What is that? C, D, E, F. I got to find the note F and put that in this chord, and then I'll have a C sus4. All right. Where's there a F? Okay, hopefully you know your letters on the fretboard. If you could find the letter F somewhere on one of the strings and add that note, you'll have the right chord. Okay, I'll give you the answer. It's fret number 3 on string 4. That's an F. Okay, and you can easily add that note into the chord by putting your pinky right there. That's C sus4. Listen. Okay, it's very easy to learn C sus2. All you do is you lift your middle finger up. Okay, you hear these moves a lot in acoustic strumming where they go. You can combine the sus2 and the sus4 and make a riff. Okay, time for your quiz. Identify these chords by ear. Ready, go. What is this chord? C sus2. What is this chord? C sus4. What is this chord? Standard old basic everyday vanilla C cowboy chord. What is this chord? C suspended. What is this chord? C sus2. What is this chord? C major cowboy chord. What is this chord? C sus2. What is this chord? C sus4. What is this chord? Basic C major. Okay, well, there it is. So we did D and A and E and G and C. So we did a lot of chords. And so hopefully you found that helpful. And hopefully now when you hear a song on the radio and a suspended chord comes along, you can listen to it and you can go, yeah, I've heard this before. That's the sound of a suspended chord. So identifying those things without even holding your instrument is really the goal. Okay, well, if you found this video helpful, please drop a like and a subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next video. I probably will do a live, once or twice a week, so check them out. And thanks for tuning in, everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye.